On this episode, the variability of our best and volume versus intensity.
This is the Holistic Alpha Male Optimization Podcast, where we help you unleash your true power as a man.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm Stephen Mathis. Thank you for being here with me. Let's first of all talk about doing our best. If I say to you it's important to do your best, you're going to probably agree with that as an idea, yes? You may have been told that as a child. Do your best. You may have heard that. If you've read the 4 Agreements, which is a fantastic book, you will know that one of the 4 agreements is always do your best. It is indeed absolutely critical. We will never create the version of ourselves that we can be. We will never fully empower ourselves if we don't do our best. But here's the thing. I think a lot of people get lost in the middle with this, very similar to other aspects of life. Here's what I mean by that. Think about physical movement, sort of physical and the movement of our mind. Most of society never really gets very intense. They never really move a lot, work really hard, and they also never really get very still. They're often, and this was me for many years, lost in this middle ground, never getting still, never really working hard, and there's nothing awesome in the middle ground. All of the awesomeness in life is in those edges. Well, the same thing kind of applies with doing our best. See, often we're not doing our best. We're coming up well short of doing our best, and we're justifying it, or we're giving ourselves excuses. Or we even know that we're not doing our best and we just kind of can't find our way out of it. But the reality is we're not doing our best. Far from it. And then other times, we would be wise to dial things back. We would be wise to go inside, to pay attention to our bandwidth, to evaluate and dial back our energy. And instead we push ourselves too hard because we think that our best yesterday or last week or last month should be our best today. And so again, we kind of get lost in this middle ground. The magic, again, is in getting out of the middle ground and truly getting into our best when you're feeling good, not justifying, making excuses. The difference between me, I'm kind of doing my best, but I know I really could give more, and really I'm doing my absolute best and I'm laying it all out there. And then the times when we do need to slow down, recognizing it, or recognizing that, you know what, this is kind of where I have been today. Today has not been my best as an objective evaluation compared to other training days for a variety of reasons. One of which is just that we go in seasons and cycles. Every day can't be our best. So I've had to kind of make this adjustment today, this mental, emotional adjustment to, you know what, my best today actually isn't going to look as good as my best 3 days ago, or maybe a week ago, or whatever it is. And that's okay. So having the discernment to understand, that's the key thing. And really the last thing I want to leave you with, and then we're going to talk about volume versus intensity. When it comes to this doing your best thing, it's about having the discernment to understand what your best really is on a particular day, in a particular moment, in a particular situation, and then showing up to that. No more, no less. Having the discernment and taking the action to show up to what it is in that moment. Let's talk about volume versus intensity. This is a critical thing in any physical training. It doesn't matter what kind of training you do. Volume versus intensity. They're not necessarily completely opposed, but in some ways they are. One has got to be the primary focus. And there's 2 key points that I want to make to you. One is that the older you get, the more the focus should be on intensity and the less on volume. You will have way better results. You will recover faster. It doesn't make sense to continue to push the volume as you get older. Adjust for that. Again, be okay with it. Your best today, volume-wise, may not be what your best was 5 years ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. That's okay. Intensity will serve you better. And from a hormonal standpoint, unquestionably, intensity serves you better. Look at the difference in the body makeup between a sprinter and a marathon runner. Now, I know there's various things that play into that, and we can't just draw all these conclusions from that, but we can look at it as an example. Look at the difference in the muscular makeup of those two sets of individuals, and they are largely completely different. You do not see sprinter body shapes having a lot of success running marathons. Maybe they can do it, but yeah, there are guys who can do that, but leading at a marathon with that body shape, no, it's not going to happen. Conversely, you will not see a marathon body shape leading in a sprint, right? So we can draw some information from that, at least, to take on board. There are also lots of studies that show the hormonal impact of two things. One is the positive hormonal impact of getting really intense. There are study after study after study showing the benefits of sprints. Look up sprints and testosterone, do some research, or just believe me and try it. Whatever floats your boat. There is plenty of research that shows how powerful sprints are. Various forms, whether it's running, doing it on a rower, doing sprint versions of kettlebells, chopping wood, whatever the hell it is. When you get into that sprint, absolute full body, going as hard as you can, which is what sprinting is going to be, massive testosterone benefits. The other side is that going too hard too long is horrible from a hormonal standpoint. It will crush your testosterone and it will increase cortisol. Again, endurance athletes, if you know endurance athletes, if you've experienced this, a lot of them, not all, because nothing is 100%, a lot of them have challenges with hormones, especially if they get really deep into endurance stuff, because once we cross a certain threshold in terms of time and intensity, we cross a threshold where instead of a testosterone boost and a stress hormone reduction coming out of that workout, it's the reverse. Testosterone goes down, stress hormones go up. I've experienced this. I was so into running, trail running mountains for hours and hours. Guess what I also struggled with at that time? Testosterone related things. Guess what I do better at 10, 15 years later at 44, almost 44 years old, by having more of a focus on intensity, all of the testosterone related things. Now, again, it's not exclusive to that, but you guys, there are so many benefits to this. Just try it. Try it. Do something that is so intense that you cannot do it for more than 15 minutes, that at the end of 15 minutes, you are spent, that you barely make it there. Compare that to how you feel doing some kind of long, slow thing, some hour-long, 90-minute, 2 hours. You're at the gym for 2 hours, moving between various machines. Compare that to going as hard as you possibly fucking can for 15 minutes and see how you feel. That's the ultimate test, is try it for yourself. Try it for yourself. I'll give you an example and then I'll let you go for today. My example of my quick workout from yesterday, I'm doing all kinds of training right now. Yesterday I had exactly 15 minutes. I set a 15-minute timer. I put on a 30-pound weight vest. I was carrying a 70-pound kettlebell. I was carrying a 10-pound maul, and I went for a hike as hard and fast as I could up the mountain. I chopped some wood. I set the kettlebell down, but I kept the weight vest on. Chopped through a thin-ish log that I could get through relatively quickly, and then I got back down and back up as fast as I could. It couldn't have been any more simple. It was hard as hell. It was very hard. 30 pounds plus 70 pounds plus 10 pounds. I'll let you do the math. It adds up and down a mountain, chopping wood with the 10 pounds and the 30-pound vest, it adds up. I'm telling you guys, intensity will serve you so well. Go kick ass. Go focus on intensity and let me know your experiences. If you're on Spotify, I would love for you to post a comment about what we've talked about today, your thoughts, your feedback, or you can always shoot me a text, 801-742-1439. Have an amazing rest of your day. Go get some. We'll talk to you soon.